Hi everyone, my name's Darcie Lich and I'm an Oblate lay associate in the Saskatchewan district community, and today we're baking cookies. Now I love baking because it gives me time to think. I have time to pray, I have time to reflect, and actually that's what I'm doing right now as I'm baking. I'm reflecting on today's readings, and it's kind of intriguing the way these readings relate to what I'm doing right now. Now I know what you're thinking. Darcie, what, pray tell, does Hosea have to say about ginger snaps? Very little, but stick with me. You see, in today's first reading and in the responsorial psalm, what we hear is God saying to us, I desire steadfast love and not sacrifice. And I'm paraphrasing when I say this next part. It's essentially, I want relationship, not burnt offerings. And the burnt offerings are not about the cookies. That comes later. And so he's saying, I don't need the fancy stuff. I don't need all that big deal. All I want is a humble heart. And Jesus doubles down in the gospel and says the same thing. He catches them and he says, whoa, just be humble. Just be humble. And so, well, what does this have to do with cookies? Well, you see, I've been baking forever. And these cookies here, these are my grandma's ginger snaps. I've been baking them since I was 12, so like 15 years. And I've been baking them so long that I have them down to a science. I've got the recipe memorized, and they turn out beautifully. And like, I'm talking like perfection. They are symmetrical. They are beautifully crackled. They are absolutely wonderfully golden, and like they're flat. They're all the right. Stunning. Do they all turn out like this? No. Inevitably, a couple go sideways. Like it's always like the first pancake out of the pan. It never quite works. There's always a couple that never work. There are a few in this batch, but most of them, they're perfect. And usually what happens is when I bake these perfect cookies, I will take the perfectest, is that a word? Perfectest of those cookies, and I will put them aside because I'm giving them to somebody. Oftentimes I will take them to work, or I'll take them to a meeting. These perfect ones that I have over here, they're going to my IT guys at work because they're magnificent and they take care of me all the time. But those perfectest ones go out the door. The perfect ones that didn't make the cut, and the definitely imperfect ones, like the ones that kind of got a little melty because the butter was soft, or the ones that are rock hard because there was a flour spot in the middle, the ones that are stuck together because they got too close in the pan, you have to cut them off so you got a square edge, rookie mistake. Those ones don't go out the door. So what does this have to do with today's readings? Well, you see, I always think that God needs the perfectest cookies from me. I should be giving God the perfect cookies. And when I don't want to give him the other ones. And so let me explain. Like when I am praying, I often think that the best prayer that I could be giving God is being down on my knees in adoration at the Blessed Sacrament for an hour. But instead, my prayer is more like sitting behind the piano at Mass, freaking because page 3 of the Gloria just hit the ground and I'm having a panic attack. Or sometimes, instead of what I would like to give him, which would be an hour of contemplative prayer, my prayers end up being the ones that are just kind of fired off all day. Like, my prayers are like shrapnel. And so I don't give God those very best cookies. And I feel bad. And what I often end up saying is, God, you know what? You deserve the very best cookies, and I haven't been giving them to you. I'm sorry. And God's like, hang on a second here. Wait. He said, if somebody were to bake you cookies, would you think any less of them if the cookie was not perfectly symmetrical? No. And he says, okay, if somebody baked you cookies and it was a little bit brown on the edges, a little bit more than they should be, would you be offended? No. If somebody baked you cookies and said, I thought of you as I was baking these, I really hope that you like them, would you be delighted? Yes. Well, duh. I know. What God is saying to us is he doesn't need the perfectest cookies all the time. And we shouldn't feel like anything is inferior if you are not giving him the perfectest cookies. And so this Lent, bake the cookies. And if they don't all turn out perfect, it's fine. It's fine. Don't be afraid to give God the cookies that didn't turn out quite perfectly, because you know what? They're still good. So this Lent, let the cookies be what they are. Give him the perfect ones when they turn out. But when they don't, it's okay. Because you know what? He likes these ones better anyway. Peace be with you.